Alright, so final boss Cusack is out on global, and today I'm going to show you how to get the top score on challenge mode difficulty with the best team. So basically this is going to be the team. Now there are variations of this team that can net you the highest score possible and potentially even higher than, well, with this team. For example, if you do not have Zeldris here, you can of course just go with Chad King. His shields are quite nice. He will increase your damage dealt while you have a shield up, and also increase your basic stats while you have a shield up if you do happen to have his holy relic. So that is one potential team that you can use, but I feel like this might just be the very best team, and it is because Zeldris here, he has a commandment which is really nice, and he has been sort of the best unit to have in the latest two final bosses. And that is because of course, like, you can remove your ult cage orbs. Removing your ult cage orbs, it means that you do not have your ults, which just opens up your hand for getting whatever potential cards that you want to get. Additionally, he is of course going to remove any sort of debuffs that you get, and in this fight in particular you will be getting some very nasty debuffs on the second phase of the fight. Now his signature card here also like removes ult cage orbs by 1 or 3 at the gold, which can come in clutch as well, because when the boss gets his ultimate you can just remove it and have him attack with 1 less attack that turn, which is also really nice. If you do happen to have his holy relic, now this is a Nidhogger holy relic, so I don't expect anyone to actually have it, but it is sort of there. It is a very old unit, so even if you do happen to like farm out Nidhogger, there's no way most of you guys are gonna craft this anyway, but if you do happen to have it, it's gonna increase your basic stats by up to 30%, which is kind of nice. So there is that. We're also going to use Brunhild here for her detonate card. Now detonate cards in this fight particularly is very nice, because if you happen to kill an enemy with this card, you are going to get an additional 100 points. Anytime you use this card, I do believe you get like 15 points, and it also hits super hard. Of course, like the more ult cage orbs the enemies have, the harder you will hit. You will quite easily be able to hit like the 200k damage threshold in order to get like an additional 20 points per, well, damage threshold met. This card also hits quite hard, so if it does crit you will quite easily hit that as well. And she has a really nice holy relic, so basically every single turn you will get debuffed by the enemies. You can only have 1 debuff on you, and you will get like 20% attack whenever you have a debuff, so that is very nice. There's only like one scenario where you basically will not have it, and that is when you actually move a Brunhild card in order to like cleanse the debuffs from you. So that can happen sometimes, but it's not really that big of a deal. Of course we're gonna use Gowther for his rank ups, because we do want to get like silver and gold Brunhild cards, and he also has a really nice passive when we have allies of different races on the field, which we do have. We have a human and a demon, and of course Gowther, who is an unknown, so we will have our attack related stats increased by up to 35%, which is super nice. And we're also gonna utilize Liz here. This is the red, I believe, as our Liz. She's gonna heal us every single turn by 10% of our max HP, and depending on our like recovery rate and stuff like that, we are of course gonna heal more. And if you do happen to have her holy relic, now this is a deer boss holy relic, so not the most difficult to craft. It is going to increase our HP related stats, which just gives us a little bit more HP, as well as like all the other related stats, which means we will heal for more as well. Now of course Zeldris here is of course a little bit of a detriment against this boss fight, because if you do not have a green or a blue unit, you will take 80% more damage, and you will deal 80% less damage with those units who are not green or blue. So basically red units, dark type units, and light type units will deal less damage and take more damage. And of course, because Cusack is blue, he will sort of focus target Zeldris here. So if he basically attacks you with 2 gold cards, Zeldris will die even with Tarmil Grace and HP defense gear. Now I do have a HP defense set for him. If you don't have that, just give him a borrowed HP defense set. Try to get as like high rolls on HP percent as you possibly can, defense percent as well, and you should be good there. Like, you can of course get unlucky by having the boss attack you twice with like a gold card, and you just have to reset at that point, but it is what it is. So Brunhild, of course, I'm going attack crit on her, and actually do want her to crit. Like, she cannot crit Cusack himself. I do believe only triple crit chance cards can crit him. That's the only thing I've ever seen crit him, but I do have crit chance sub rolls on her top pieces. This isn't the worst thing ever, because like if you can crit the little mobs, you will of course deal more damage, and you don't have to like worry about taking 1 extra turn in order to kill them. You can kill them a little bit sooner than that. You are of course like losing out on quite a lot of like attack and stuff like that, so you're basically going to lose out on potentially up to 30% attack. That means you're going to be dealing less damage to Cusack himself. It's not the end of the world. Like, you're going to be able to still deal enough damage to where that isn't really a problem. Mix and match however you want. Like, if you want to run full attack percent sub rolls on these pieces, be my guest. If you want to run full crit chance sub rolls like I am here, that can also work. Like, as you can see, 20% plus 20%, not the highest sub rolls here. here, of course, but it works out well enough. Anyway, that is also a good alternative. Or if you want to run like 50% crit chance, 50% attack related, or attack percent, like if you just swap this out for this one, that could potentially also work. I do find that losing 20% additional crit chance or like the whatever 14-15% additional attack isn't really the greatest, because even with like the additional 40% crit chance, she only has 124% crit chance here, which is very low, and I do happen to miss crits on the side mobs quite a few times. So try it out however you want, but that is sort of what I'm going for there. And the other two units I do have like HP defense gear on, just regular HP defense gear. Now the card set I have on them is the very new card set that is going to increase our attack by up to 6%. So the attack we're losing there, we're getting a little bit of attack back, but this attack also applies to Zeldris and Gowther, which is nice, so that can help us out just a little bit. Zeldris will hardly like deal any damage. He's like type disadvantage against Cusack and the enemies, and he's dealing like 80% less damage. That's nothing. Gowther isn't a DPS unit, like he's not gonna deal any damage with his pumpkin bombs anyway, but this does sort of help Brunhild a little bit. If you do not have this card set, I would honestly, I don't even know which one should suggest here. Like this one maybe, like the single target card set, increasing your single target damage by 6%. Maybe that one. Do try some other ones if you want. Otherwise, just go in here, hit auto, set it to HP, hit apply, and you should get like the maximum number of basic attack from the best cards in the game. So that could also work, of course. And we're also eating attack food now. For food specifically, like do make sure that you craft at least 100 or 200 of each food that you want to like use, because you will be resetting quite a lot trying to get like the top score. Like of course you don't need the top score, you just need like 50% to get like the 35 gems as well as like the cosmetic piece. So to basically get here, and this one contains 5 gems, right, of course, and you get 30 gems here plus the headpiece. That is basically what you want. If you want the maximum rewards, of course you're gonna need like the top 5%, and of course this team is gonna help you reach that top 5%. Even if you do not manage to like complete one of these missions, or maybe even 2 of these missions, you like still get into the top 10, top 15% bracket, where you will still get quite a lot of rewards at the end. But yeah, we'll just go into it. I do have a pre-recording here. I did try it out a couple of times, but like me doing this live recording, trying to get like the best score or whatever, just to show you guys exactly what you need to do, I just got completely shafted. Like Cusack constantly gets super lucky and gets like a gold card and kills Zeldris. It's just an annoyance, but I will just show you the recording here instead, and we'll go over it that way. That way I can just pause it and we can just, you know, see how it goes. So basically here is the recording of the run where I got almost 5.8k score. So there are like 3 cards that you kind of want as your 7th card here. Now one of them is the rank up card with Gowther, another one is this card here with Brunhild, and the third one is this card here with Brunhild. So either you want a Brunhild card or a Gowther rank up card. That is 3 out of 6 cards, so that is a 50% chance to actually get the cards that you want. I do have Zeldris here on the left hand side, so that in case the 7th card is this card here, it's not a complete waste, so it will merge and then we will get another chance at getting the cards that we want. So that's why I have Zeldris here. As you can see, Cusack will attack us with a gold card. Now a gold card hits for super hard. I do believe, like, I don't even know exactly how much it hits for, like 75k times 3. That is one of the cards, and the other card hits for like 240, 250k. So that is a lot of attack in just one hit. So even with like Tarmil Grace on, you might not survive it. But the tactic that you want to go for is you want to kill this right hand side mob first, and then you want to kill the left hand side mob, and then you want to kill Cusack, and you want to kill Cusack on turn 4. Now this is very important, and we'll go over that in a bit. But basically, if you can manage to kill the right hand side mob either turn 1 or turn 2, that is going to be ideal, because the right hand side mob increases the enemy's HP by 100%. Now if these 2 attacks or these 2 hits would have crit, if both of those would have crit, I would have quite easily been able to kill him. Not killing him is perhaps even better, because now I can kill him with this card here. Now this card, killing a enemy with the detonate card, is of course going to give us 100 extra points, which is super nice. Basically you're going to get 150 points if you complete the missions for the 50% additional points as well, and the points do stack up. Like if you can kill all the enemies with the detonate cards, if you get super lucky with Brunhild cards, then you're going to get 600 additional points, which would equate to 900 additional points at the end. So you can just see how crazy that stacks up. So basically I'm going to attack this one with this card. That's going to give us 100 points plus the 20% for doing 200k damage plus the 15% for actually using a card. Here I'm just depleting his old cage orb with Zeldris so that I activate his holy relic. That's going to give us 6% basic stats. Of course, if you don't have his holy relic, don't worry. And there we just crit. I do believe you need to crit at least 2 times with a gold card in order to kill him, with like crit chance sub rolls on her top pieces. Here we got another one of these detonate cards, so that's nice. But now we are on the 3rd turn. We're gonna go into the 3rd turn, so we just want to chip the boss down as much as possible. Unfortunately, I don't really have that many cards to chip him down, so I'm just gonna maximize card draw by just using these cards here and trying to lifesteal a little bit with Zeldris as well. So that is what I'm doing, and I'm just hoping to get some Brunhild cards. Fortunately for me, and because this is a pre-recording, that sort of worked out, so I got quite some nice Brunhild cards. That is very nice, but we do want to kill him on this turn, and I will talk about exactly why in just a moment as soon as we enter the second phase. So basically, these two attacks here, I'm gonna rank them up, and they will deal enough damage. As you can see, I basically cannot crit Cusack. And the Power Strike card hardly does any damage, but this one at gold does so much damage even without critting, so that is very, very nice. So now we are on the second phase. As you can see, we get frozen. Now this is turn 5, so that is why it's important to go into the second phase on turn 4, so that this turn is turn 5, next turn is going to be turn 6, and on next turn the boss will use the immortality thing. That means that you cannot kill him on turn 7. He does that every 2 turns. Then on turn 9 you cannot kill him, but you can kill him on turn 10. So turn 5, 6, 8 and 10 you can kill him. Turn 7 and 9 you cannot kill him. If you go into this phase on turn 5 instead of turn 4, that means that the first turn will be turn 6, and he will use the immortality thing on turn 7, and you cannot kill him on turn 8, and then he will use it again the next turn, and then you can't kill him on turn 10. That means that you have to kill him by 9 turns if you go into this phase at phase 5 or later, so do keep that in mind. What turn you actually go into this phase is gonna play a huge part in when you actually need to kill the boss. So, but if you do happen to get like a bunch of Brunhild cards, because you can stay in the previous phase for quite a while just to get a bunch of like gold Brunhild cards, and you could potentially kill him in 1 or 2 turns. That is something you can do. Now here, I'm not exactly sure what I do. I just waste some cards. I moved a card with Zeldris just to like break the thing, and I'm just attacking a little bit just to lifesteal a little bit, you know. Now the thing about these mobs here, I'm just gonna go back a little bit so you can see. This mob right here, of course, again, buffs the enemy's HP. He will also buff them with a thing that's gonna heal them. If you attack them, it's gonna be basically like a mini Tarmiel Grace. So basically what Blue Wing Delane does. So she buffs you up, and if you do happen to take damage, you will heal back a little bit. So that is what that does, as well as like increasing their age-related stats or something like that. He does that on the second turn. Now this mob right here will freeze you every single turn, which is super annoying. That is sort of why I kind of like to go with Zeldris here, because if Brunhild happens to get frozen, and I do believe she will get frozen here, if she happens to get frozen every single turn for some reason, like there's no way you can like break that unless the boss uses an AoE. Like you saw, he actually used an AoE, but here Brunhild is frozen, and he never single target focuses any unit that is frozen. He can ult them, of course, that is what he usually does, but if Zeldris is frozen, he will not like attack Zeldris with any single target cards. He will of course do some AoE cards. I'm not sure exactly when he uses the AoE cards, like I believe next turn or whatever he does like a special AoE card or whatever, but it's rare and it is whatever. So here you can see this mob is gonna buff them up. This mob is still gonna freeze us, and he is gonna taunt up here. Now this is the second turn here, so we will just rank up Brunhild. I do believe I'll just rank her up, and then I will just use a card. I was thinking about, should I rank her up and then just use like 2 gold attacks later? I was like, nah, I'm just gonna rank her up, move a card, use a gold card, hopefully kill the right hand side mob. If I can kill the right hand side mob, killing Cusack on the 8th turn or the turn after that also wouldn't be an issue. He is almost dead there, and like killing him shouldn't be a problem anyway. But yeah, as you can see, they're freezing, you know, Brunhild every single time. That is why it's nice to have Zeldris. If I do not happen to have Zeldris there, and I just noticed that I was recording, or I was recording this, well, pre-recording without sound. It does have sound, so I do apologize for that, but yeah, let's just see here. So he is gonna ult me. I will sort of kill that little mob, and then I will like attack Cusack with Zeldris. That is gonna give us some more points, and we're gonna remove his ult cage orb, which is also gonna make it so that he cannot ult. But he does have the taunt up. He's gonna take quite a lot less damage as well, but it's not the end of the world. So we're going into turn 8, and actually killing him on turn 8 rather than turn 10 is of course gonna give you a little bit more points, because you're taking fewer turns to actually kill it. It can also mean that it's gonna cost you a little bit. Say for example, I was able to kill this mob with a detonate card, like yeah, I was able to deal some more damage, I was able to use some more cards. That can stack up and give you quite a lot more points, so do take that how you will. I generally find that if I like beat it on turn 8 rather than turn 10, that is gonna give me a little bit more points. But because we killed the right hand side mob, we can actually, with the gear that I have on Brunhild, which is like crit chance gear rather than attack percent, if you do have attack percent, you can quite easily kill him here, but I can still kill him with the gold card. So as soon as you kill like the right hand side mob, like you can focus down Cusack if you want, or you can kill the left hand side mob if you happen to get like a bunch of these detonate cards, so you can get a little bit more points of course that way. But just killing him here is gonna give me 5.8k score. That put me at, well, at the time of the recording there, top 47. There we go, 5.8k score. And if you go about top 47, it is currently top 52, maybe even less than that if I go in and out here. It is of course going to change during the day. I will try to get a better run going, top 53 agree there. Yeah, but that is the guide. That is sort of how I would sort of go about it. Just to recap, try to get at least a Brunhild card or a Gowther rank up card. Kill the right hand side mob first, kill the left hand side mob first. Try to do that with like Brunhild's detonate cards to get more points. Then kill Cusack on turn 4. That is your phase 1 goal. Phase 2, of course, try to get as many like Brunhild cards going into that phase. Go for rank up cards as well, and just kill the right hand side mob. Then either focus down Cusack or Zeldris. And of course, if you can do that with a gold detonate card, with Cusack having like full ult gauge orbs, you will basically kill him. So, but yeah, I think that is gonna be it for this video. Hope you found this guide helpful. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a most wonderful rest of your day, and I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.